Welcome back. Those of you who have been following my channel here over the course of whatever time period, 1 year, 2 years, 2 hours, 2 days, know that I am a firm believer in healthcare reform. Something better here in the United States, and I have a blog, a website is entitled unitedinhealth.blogspot.com. And I simply wrote down here that healthcare for all equals human care for all. Now, this is a bit off topic. If you want to leave or don't want to listen to this, that's perfectly understandable. This channel mainly is dedicated for technology news, although it can be argued that medicine and breakthroughs in medicine, cures, can be argued that it is also part of technology, human technology. But I'm commenting on this today because today the Supreme Court, the highest court here in the United States, I believed has ruled on a decision that's probably the most important decision here in the United States, at least one of the most important rulings here in the U.S. in the last 100 years. Now, I know my statement, my comment can be is debatable, and I completely understand. But I wanted to say something now because when the ruling was announced today, I was stunned. I completely expected the Supreme Court to throw out the law that was passed by the current Obama administration about 2 years ago. I really expected them to strike it down because I had completely lost my faith in the system in these here United States. Completely lost my faith in the I don't know how to say it, in the common sense of the people. For those of you who do not know me, I don't believe in political parties. When I vote, I don't care if the person is left wing, right wing, upside down, white, black. You know, that's all fluff. Those things are irrelevant. When I vote for someone, whether it's local elections or on a national level, I look at the person and I make a judgment call. And my judgment call is, can this person somehow, in a very small way, improve the quality of life for humans, us? And that's basically one of the reasons I voted for Obama. And I don't want to make this a total political commentary. And like I said, this is something that is close to my heart. If you want to leave now, I completely understand. That's cool. But the Supreme Court has upheld the law, the Healthcare, the Patient Care and Affordability Act, the so-called Obamacare. It's all in the name to me. It doesn't mean anything. But upholding the law, for me, um, my son, for many millions of people in this country who need help, it is wonderful, wonderful news. The law, the piece of legislation, the bill, it's not perfect. I've read some of it. It's not perfect, but really, is any piece of law really perfect? But I believe that it is a step in the right direction. It has to be, because healthcare for all equals human care for all. This is about us. And to have a system here in the United States that is completely, the system itself to me is just plain horse stable. And it's not just me saying it. Congress, both parties have said in the past that the system is broken. It needs fixed. Now, the people, the medical professionals who work in the system, the nurses, the therapists, the doctors, the chiropractors, boy, for myself, thank God for chiropractors. They do the best they can under a system that is ranked, what's our system ranked around the world? 37th, 38th? It's disgraceful. And there's been a lot of negativity in the past, I remember somewhat back in the 90s when Clinton was elected president, and he and his wife were trying to take the first step to pass some kind of healthcare bill. And of course, there were a bazillion dollars spent against it, saying if this bill is passed, you'll pay more, you'll get less, you'll wait in line, there'll be millions of people without health insurance, and conditions will get worse. Well, they were right. Conditions got worse. We pay more, we wait in line, millions of people are can't afford health insurance, and it was all because the Health Care Act wasn't passed back then. It wasn't because of it. What they predicted happened because any chance of reform back then was crushed. But I hope the decision today leaves me personally a little. There is a residue of humanity left, a residue, at least in my opinion. My faith is back, has my faith, a small part, my faith today came back in the political process in this country. What has happened here in the last, 9, 10 years, I completely lost faith in the political process, the voters, the way people think, how they vote. To me, it was just completely horse stable. It made no sense. You know, uh, I remember a couple years ago, before the bill was passed and signed into law, I think the story goes a young man was going to a rally to protest. Um, Protest Obama's upcoming bill on health care. And the story goes, this young man, I think he got into some kind of accident, a car wreck. He never made it to the rally against health care. And I found out later that this young man, who was going to protest health care, had lost his job, had no health care, and was in a wheelchair asking for donations for his medical bills. This young man, you know, and I wish him well. This young man was going somewhere to protest the very thing that would eventually help him. Now, it's easy to say, people like this are just morons and this and that, but that doesn't help us. That type of conversation doesn't help us. It doesn't help human care. That's my term for health care. What helps us, all of us, is common sense, communication, education, you know, reading, listening to people. There are two sides to a story. Now, I know the health bill is not perfect, but really, is any piece of legislation perfect? How do you define the perfect bill? I don't have a clue. But I believe that it is a step in the right direction. It's not perfect. Thank God, because look, for anyone out there who is in between jobs, lost their jobs, have kids, need help, your help is going to be there in some form or fashion. Uh, you know, and in 2 years, I believe the rest of the bill kicks in. The most important provision, I believe, is that pre-existing conditions will become illegal. Now, everybody will have to pay. This is not a free ride. Everybody will pay, but everybody at least will get some help and not be thrown out to the curb in a inhuman way. All right, that's all I wanted to say about this. If you stuck around long enough for me to babble about this, thank you. It is greatly appreciated. This is something that is personal to me. For me, at least, it's a good day here in America. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. It is greatly appreciated. That's all I have to say. And as always, guys, I will catch you later. Thank you.